Fuck. Fuck. Ugh. Come on, dog. Sukov. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Fucking freezing in here, dude. I'm starting to get sick of this fucking weather just across the board. Dark fucking shit ass out too. Grab something else. Ugh. Alright, come on. Or stay there. Fuck you too. Fuck, it's cold in here. Man. Fucking Christ, dude. Fucking goddamn it. I can't even have like this shit, like, whatever. I don't even care. No fucking point bitching about it. Who gives a shit? Besides me, because this fucking streamless does not want to goddamn fucking work. Save his fucking life. Split. Yeah, I'm fucking aware of it. Yeah, I'm fucking aware of this dog shit fucking app. You know, being fucking like, you know, like crashing it like every tiny little fucking thing that happens. Like, it's actually pissing me fuck off. It's like, fuck this worthless piece of shit, dude. It's like, oh, it's just like, oh, goes fucking vertical. Oh, well, can't render anything anymore. Oh, you have a split screen, can't render that. It's like, fuck you, you piece of shit app. It's like, just fucking work for one simple fucking function. It ain't that fucking hard. But no, some fucking retard, you know, and fucking, you know, the administrative IT or some shit probably don't fucking give a fuck. Or, you know, willing to fix that shit because they want to make an extra buck. Motherfuckers. God. Fucking shit's really grinding my fucking gear with that shit now, dude. Like, fuck. Really getting fucking annoyed with this goddamn fucking app at this point. It's like more of a bane than an actual fucking, like, like fucking benefit at this rate. Ugh. And it's just fucking ungodly cold for some reason. Like, it just feels straight up way colder than it has been last week. Like, I don't fucking get it. Ugh. Fuck. Come down for cold? No? I mean, I don't fucking know. At least this is like 40 fucking 2, and was like, whatever. What the fuck ever, dude. Ugh. Oh, yeah, fucking anyway. How's you? Sleepy? That's a sleepy boy. Jesus fuck Christ, dude. I am like so done with this fucking app. Like, whatever. There's literally no point in bitching about it. Oh, yeah, fucking yeah. And also, I noticed that, like, he didn't commit any sins in the night, did he? Well, kind of, I guess. There was another dog that showed up, and, it was a female pit or something. I'm pretty sure, maybe like a boxer. And, and those two were, like, super fucking playful with each other. Like, the other dog was doing, like, little submissive moves, kind of like, rolling over and, like, showing off her belly and stuff, be super friendly with him. So, he had a little friend. At least, a female friend. But nothing happened with that. Good. I wouldn't want that anyway. Okay, that's... Okay. Now I want to pull it for like some music or some shit. Here, show me this. Eating your chicken tacos. Sans dropped out. Yeah, I saw something about that. Let me get my brain fucking, not salty. Okay, fuck. That's my fucking nose, bro. Wow, it was like a drop. That's driving me nuts. I figured Nikki would be next. She is. Yeah, she's gonna be the next to drop out at this point. Just kind of realized I'm kind of fucking blurry. Does that help? Okay, that did. But yeah, she's gonna be fucking next. Because it's basically what? Just those two now? Like, Trump and Nikki? I mean, I already know what the fuck the result's gonna be of that. And we already kind of knew what the hell, like, that was gonna look like anyway. I also don't even know if this is just like a me thing or not either, but I've also noticed that YouTube continuously is just like overtly pushing right-wing fucking shit at me. I don't know if you've noticed it or anyone else has, but like, holy fuck, dude. Like, I mean, I'm straight up getting like fucking like full-on videos that are just straight up like, basically be like, fucking just over like shit from like election stuff, just overt MAGA cult-esque shit, just overtly this type of stuff. And I'm just like, why does this continue to like pop up on my fucking feed. So I'll even look at the comments sometimes, just see, are there just people, or is there just like a lot of people fucking on it or something? No. No, it really is just that being pushed on me. And I keep being like, don't recommend this channel. Don't, fucking recommend me this post. Don't recommend the video. Like, because I don't want that fucking shit, like, clogging up my feed. We're getting more into analog horror anime stuff, conspiracy stuff, like conspiracy adpocalypse. I mean, I wish I was getting shit like that, to be frank. Definitely gotta get some more weed tonight. Not the fun conspiracies. So, I mean, that would probably be, that would be included in, like, far right, things that, like, I'd be saying then. So YouTube is pushing, like, weird right-wing shit at you. And also, I keep getting, like, fucking God bothering shit. Being like, oh, yes, so Jesus is your savior, blah, blah. Just weird shit like that, too. I keep getting that as well. And it's like, I'm literally here fucking, like, as an anti-theist. Why am I being pushed this shit? I've always gotten that. I mean, I normally haven't, but especially in, like, the last, like, month or so, yeah, I have. Jew stuff, mostly? That sounds really weird out of context of how you just said that. I'm assuming you're meaning, like, what, JQ conspiracies and stuff? Yeah. I mean, that's honestly even more shitty just because it's like fucking Nazis and fascists have been normalized so much that now they're just like on fucking platforms. Oh my god, I also saw this other weird ass like fucking edit where it's like, Disney's depiction of like the Axis powers, but it was like doing it in a positive way. Being like, it's so fucking weird, dude. Dude, like this, like honestly, this like right wing influence, when it comes to like some of the shit that's being put out there is honestly fucking creepy. And I don't mean just like, oh, because they're right wing. I mean like it's straight up either bordering or just overtly is like, fucking Nazi shit. I mean, it's like, why are there like straight up like YouTube short edits of like, showing like the like Disney version of like the Hitler, Mussolini, and like Hirohito ducks or whatever, which of course are all meant to be kind of like, racist-esque interpretations, at least the Japanese one for sure. But it was used in a positive way. Like, oh no, they're good. And the fucking comments in some of them, at least that video I remember seeing was actually like, get fucked on by a lot of people, like as the top comments, but there were so many people getting replies, or other comments that were like, too bad the good guys lost and all this other shit. It's just like, they genuinely like have like these, ways of pushing this shit. And it's just kind of fucking freaky. Portrayal of Stalin is getting worse as well. The portrayal of Stalin, I mean, what do you mean? Like, I guess in the sense of what, being revered or something? I mean, I guess, but frankly, not really, like, I mean, not really in the same way, at least. Not the fan, but I noticed they show him and the Soviets like we used to show the Nazis themselves. Oh, well, that's just like Red Scare McCarthyism shit, though. Like, that's always been around. I mean, at least, for him, it's, I guess, I mean, if you're, like, in the West, it's pretty easy to fucking, like look at like Stalin or the USSR and shit in comparison to like the Nazis or some shit, because the Nazis came from the fucking West. Like a lot of the ideology that prospered and bolstered that broader philosophy fucking came from conservative Western thinkers and shit like that, and far right thinkers. So in a weird fucked way, it's like they are pretty much like the ones who were like there are a lot of people out there that essentially kind of will be more willing to at least like tolerate like far right fascistic kind of ideas in comparison to like socialists or communists, because they immediately think, oh, China, USSR, and shit like that, which is, quote, the East in their mind, which is somehow a greater threat than Nazis, I guess. They always portray the rest as doing most of the fighting. I mean, honestly, I was like, for at least some of like my education growing up, that's how it was taught. Like, it wasn't really till high school until I started learning that, like, oh yeah, Soviets also helped too. Or like, a friend for a little bit. I mean, so there was like, at least a little bit, like later in my education, but prior to that, it was, mostly learning about how America came saved today. So, again, I mean, that's normal, honestly. It shouldn't really, but kind of is. Also, Soviet settled line while we built up our power to open another front. I mean, that, like I said, it was eventually kind of taught, these things, but when it came to like the general bulk of the education about it, it was basically like, oh yeah, like the Allies helped out with that, and the Soviets were part of that, I guess. I mean, that was pretty much just like how it was like portrayed. Like I said, it wasn't really until high school when I started learning about that. I mean, at least, for me, I think a lot of it was just because, like, how they did, like, history education, they kind of were, like, kind of, like, with every year, they pretty much, would, like, move up, with the different eras that you'd be learning about. So by the time I was, like, a sophomore and junior year in high school, that's when we kind of started learning the bulk of, like, the 1900s and shit like that. So, I mean, and during, like, middle school or, like, elementary school, it's like, those things were kind of taught, but it just was like more glancery, or just kind of more like, just kind of basic foundation shit. Because Japan vs. China wasn't a pleasant war, even by World War II standards. Fuck no, it wasn't. Even the Nazis looked at the Japanese being like, chill the fuck out. That's how fucked it was. The Nazis literally looked at the Japanese being like, chill the fuck out. So, like, holy shit. So, yeah. Definitely not wrong with that. And to this day, like, Japanese government still kind of denies a lot of that. I know Shinzo Abe was, before he got assassinated, was like overtly fucking like, almost like rub it in sometimes. Like there's like, and he did, because like I remember there's like some photo op he did where he was in like some jet, like a fighter jet or something, and the number on the side of the fucking plane was 731. For like unit 731. So, like, I mean, if anything, this motherfucker straight, like, rubs, that dude straight was rubbing it in a way. Like, oh, not only do we deny it, but fuck you. We'll rub it in. There's an Nazi officer in the Chinese capital, Beijing, or I guess at that time it would probably have been known as Peking. But Chinese capital that actually, he used his embassy to hide civilians. But that might be because he wasn't in the thick of it to commit them. Well, because that guy was like a, ambassador or some shit. Like, I mean, if anything, that dude probably was just sent over there just, out of fucking sheer, like, well, you ordered to. So he just did. And probably because he was so far away from the actual conflict going on and, in Europe, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he honestly didn't really know much. So the stuff that he did see, especially when it came to China and Japan, probably honestly did shape his perspective about things. I mean, like, that's why, it's not really, like, true in the sense of, like, it's just, like, like, yes, there's, like, a large swath of, like, Nazis that existed like this, but there were, like, a handful of them. Like, the whole idea of, like, like, myth of, like, the innocent Wehrmacht or some shit is not true. But there are at least, like, handfuls of, like, mostly individuals specifically that, would, like, kind of be against the fray of that shit. But the thing is, they're like individuals in like the whole thing. I mean, you can usually find them just like looking up different stories about that. Being like, like how, there's been times where, like, I know at the very end of the war, there was like, like a few Wehrmacht officers with their battalions and shit, that said, fuck it, we'll just fight with the Americans instead of against them and just go fight the SS. So there were like straight up like Germans, fighting each other at the very end of the fucking war, where it was not like a civil war, but it started to fractionalize. Like at that point, like the whole like Nazi regime was just fractured. And I mean, because by that point there was even like coup d'etats or at least plans on such, to overthrow, the the current government at that time. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean any of those people were probably good. They probably were still, anti-Jew fucking Nazi scum, but probably not to the level of like over Hitlerian fucking shit, like Adolf was and stuff. I would say there are individual good people who happen to be Nazi affiliated. Not trying to find it. Yeah, well, that's what I'm kind of saying. Because I mean, it's like you can say the same thing for like Trump supporters or some shit, right? Like, not every single one of them are like crazy cult psychopaths, but yeah, most of them are. But you can find a few of them that can get breaking away from that, or probably like finding an out, so to speak. That's why I tend to be a contact theorist, because like I don't totally just immediately give up on a person just because they happen to be X, Y, or Z or some shit. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that they might change their minds, but worth a shot, right? Because yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of them that are going to just straight up be piece of shit. I'm all kind of warmed up now. I'm all nice and toasty. He wears a Godzilla suit, becomes Godzilla. I know about that. Rose sent me that. I don't know if you were here one night, but I forgot when. It was probably like maybe a month ago. But yeah, Rose sent me that. And despite turns other people wearing suits and monsters. I just watched that today. Wow. I didn't know about that other part though. So I guess maybe there's like other parts to the story, and he's just sent me one of them. I know about like the dude being like literally like stuck in the suit or whatever the fuck and all that shit, and when they tried to like get him out, he was quite literally fused in it. Which I can't I can't even really like imagine what that would look like. I guess that's kind of why it's analog horror. latest video implies he's going to bite the suit actor for Ghidorah. It should remind you it takes 3 people to run that suit. Some little things we can kind of look at. I'm just seeing what's going on here for Sunday. Outside of Sans Drop now, but I don't really give that much of a fuck about that. I've seen Single B2 go since I got here. Okay. I mean, a lot of Mexican Native American girls, though. Well, a lot of Hispanic and Native American chicks tend to be either metalheads, punks, or goths themselves, so they maybe just don't necessarily look like it, but they probably are. At least around here in the PNW, like, there's, you know, like, a lot of people that might be, like, Native or Indigenous tend to be, like, really into things like metal, punk, you know, gothic stuff and shit like that. But, again, that's also, like, up here. I don't know how it is out there in New Mexico with that type of stuff. I imagine there has to be at least, like, a little bit of a scene of that type of shit. Just not big enough to really have, like, you know, full-on, like, you know, music scenes and shit. You know, but Portland does. I mean, if anything, a lot of that shit is, like, you know, really popped back, you know, in, like, kind of a big way last year, at least. Still white bread these women. That's why I gotta find a way to stand out. Get some drip. Work today, assume. Well, yeah, I mean, you should know what my days off are, right? Like, my days off are always pretty consistently the same. Coffee burp. I've committed them to memory yet. You do realize this is, like, all the time. Like, my schedule is pretty much the same all the time. Outside of, like, exceptional circumstances. Which are usually, like, you know, vacations, or requesting time off for shows, or things like that. I mean, even if it's not inherently, like, committed to memory, I would have figured it would have been at least, like, subconscious. Is that you think? What, having a consistent schedule? No. I mean, that inherently isn't, or at least it shouldn't be. Just having a consistent schedule should just be, like, just be a part of, like, just the work. I mean, because, you know, having, you know, a workplace that, like, flip-flops your fucking schedule around all the time and shit is not exactly a very, you know, healthy work environment that, you know, is good. And at that point, yeah, I guess the fucking union needed to be there to ensure that, you know, if people want, you know, a standard work schedule that's, you know, set, you know, then you can at least, you know, have that. But, I mean, not really, just because, I mean, also, there's, you know, a lot of, you know, different people that, you know, are in my department also elsewhere that do kind of get flip-flopped around a little bit. So, it's not inherently a thing. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, where it's basically just like, hey, you know, like, you know, these are like, you know, days I want off and I'll work, you know, the rest of the week. So it's like if you want like Monday and Tuesday off, and just when you're getting hired, just mention that. Be like, these are the days I want off, and I'll work literally every other day. I work the rest of the days because at least then it sets the standard a little bit. Because when I worked, we were at the whim of the boss. You feel like you needed to work. You work. See, yeah, fuck that. Like, you're not like his fucking slave or some shit just because you happen to be hired for him. Like, it's like, oh well, you're hired for me. That means I literally own you. So it's like, get the fuck in here. You're gonna work like 80 hours this week, bitch. It's like, what? It's like, no, fuck that. That's fucking ridiculous. Would it get even one overtime? Oh, the audacity. You worked you to the max allowed by law before overtime. Wow. Dude, that's kind of honestly how like my work does it a little bit. Like they'll straight up, just be like, oh, we can't have overtime. They're always bitching about that. And it's like, you know what? If I have to stay late, fuck you. Like, I'm getting that overtime, bitch. I don't care. I mean, and honestly, at least with the hours I do work, I usually don't get overtime, but it's just like, nah. I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous. Like, if, things still need to be done and it's like, at least when it comes to closing and, and I'm like 30 minutes over my scheduled time or some shit, or even an hour or whatever, like, just eat dick. Pay me for that shit, bitch. Cut hours for the rest of the week. See, that's just, like, how is that even fucking functional? It's like, what, the first half of the week is just going to be like, everyone's there, but then, like, the last half of the week is, like, understaffed as shit? It's like, that's just fucking absurd. Like, how's that, how's that turn out, like, a productive work environment? When pay-per-view stayed over. Yeah, and if they don't do that shit, then, yeah, guess what? Things aren't getting done. Fuck you. It did some weird hour math that always came out under the overtime. Probably because honestly, it was probably he was straight up like fucking with wages and hours and stuff. Well, that's literally what he was doing. So yeah, I mean that's just the shit like that needs to just be fucking illegal. I mean, it should be like an opt-in if you want to like have your schedule flipped around or whatever the fuck, and being like, yeah, I opt into basically like have whatever days off in the week. So it's like if this week it's like Friday and Saturday, then next week, like like Tuesday, Wednesday, some shit, then whatever. If you opt into it, fine. But if not, then it should be a fucking set schedule. And guess what? If they have to go overtime because of some issue, then you're paying them, and fuck you, suck it up. Because that's just fucking ridiculous. My fucking friend is going off on the Telegram chat. What the fuck is he talking about? He's got my attention. What's going on here? You fire if you refuse to come in on an off day. I'm pretty sure that's honestly straight up illegal. Hey, it's your day off. Come into work or you're fired. Like that. I'm pretty sure that's literally illegal. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I mean, what? Not in Bama. Oh my god, this is at least another reason why Reconstruction 2 Electric Boogaloo needs to happen. I want employment. Man, fuck that. It's like, oh, well, guess what? You're going to be fired. It's like, well, thanks for the unemployment, bitch. Because, I mean, like, at least, from my understanding, like, when it comes to at least, applying for unemployment and shit, like, it's way easier to get it if you get fired versus quitting. The payment if the boss files the right papers, you don't get unemployment. What the fuck? If our papers saying you're being defiant and disqualify you. And this is why, you know, like the NORB is the thing. This is why, like, I mean, like, this is why the NLRB exists. This is why unions exist and shit. You know, I mean, it's just like, I mean, this is why labor laws exist. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, dude. What's wrong with that? I don't see a problem. You don't see a problem with a boss having like literally total fucking manipulative control and power over somebody, you know, based off of their fucking employment. Holy fucking shit, dude! Now my Telegram is exploding. All right, what the fuck is going on in here? Oh, Jesus Christ. That's what's going on. Oh, my Lord. He's boss after all. Yeah, and all he fucking does is basically just like sit there and fucking, yeah, like do pencil pushing and fucking like number typing shit. Like, boss barely does fuck all. You know, besides, you know, making money off of the fucking back of the worker that they want to exploit and, you know, basically use as chattel slavery. Doing the bare minimal to, like, you know, to actually, like, you know, give them the basic decency of having a fucking life. Man, what's going on in this fucking Telegram chat is literally just Logan and his girlfriend's, like, family just, like, not liking him at all. And, like, with her fucking health going on right now and shit, which I have no idea what's going on with that. But she's, like, in ICU and stuff. And so now my friend's just popping the fuck off, you know, with, you know, like, her folks at us about this shit. Oh my god. Rip City, I said something in it. I don't know if details, but I don't think starting to dispute with her family is the best idea in this situation. Yeah, no shit. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. And of course, what's going on in that Telegram chat is also like, you know, like having like religious foo-foo being spewed to a little bit. You know, and a lot of that is mostly just because I guess, you know, her folks are like, you know, spewing like, you know, fucking, you know, like kind of, you know, hateful like ideas about like, you know, him and shit being exclusive. And, you know, it's like, well, fuck you, I could do the same thing. And so he's just saying that. It's like, oh my god. So I didn't need a union. Well, you're told wrong. Take all my income as dues. Yeah, which, you know, the boss is doing that behind your back while they're telling you sweet lies. Because it's not even true. Like, not even like fucking 5% of my monthly income goes into that. What's up, buddy? What's up, doggo? Speech. Squitch. Goofy thing. You can skip between you and your doctor. What? What? Even Zukov's popping off on that one. That's just what? No? No, they don't. What the fuck is your deal, dog? Oh my god. Bruh. Dude. Bro. Oh my god. That was Walmart training. Seriously? Oh my. Well, I can tell you this right now. That is just comically bullshit. In your job health insurance? No, they don't. Like, how? Like, they literally don't. What? If anything, they guarantee it. And ensure that, you do actually get that insurance and you're not denied it and stuff. Like, what? What the fuck type of bunk ass shit is that? What type of bunk ass shit are you, dog? You just want to sit there and be at work. Oop. They imply that you can control how much is spent per person. That's just not true. No, they don't. I mean, that's just like ridiculous. On health shorts. I mean, I figured that's what you were still talking about. No better than rival CEOs? Oh, I wonder why they have that mentality. I wonder why the bosses and shit have that mentality about that. Probably because it gets in the way of their profit and maximizing the fucking money in their pocket. So, I wonder why they say that. Like, at that point, now they're just being too fucking, like, obvious with it. If that's, like, at least implied, then, yeah. At that point, it's a little too obvious of what they're trying to do there. Dude, if I heard that on, like, some fucking training video, I would probably bust a gut laughing. Like, straight up. Watch out. Works on a lot of Alabama folk because they have no idea what a uni is. Which, is honestly a lot of the reason why Reconstruction needs to happen. And this is, like, more the benign aspect to it, in my opinion. Where there definitely needs to be, like, just a mass, expansion of education, of, like, genuine, actual, like, solidifying, codifying, uni efforts, in these states, and revitalizing different infrastructure and different, communities and industries, with that type of shit. On top of, obviously, re-educating racist chocofucks from not being racist chocofucks. So, there's that, too. I mean, so, like, and I think at least, when it comes to this aspect of things, when it comes to that idea, because honestly, I am legit an advocate for Reconstruction, too. Like, I'm not even kidding. I am an advocate for that. So it's like, I think it's better than splitting the country apart. So, and I think honestly, there's a way to where you can potentially couch that as an actual possibility. You could tie it in with like federal drop program shit and stuff. At least, you know, maybe certain steps of it. At least, you know, how I would, you know, think about trying to implement something like that. You know, so it's just one of those things where it just needs to be just heavily pushed. And so when it comes to this is something that I think maybe could probably, you know, like help kind of give a stepping stone to the idea. Because, like, I mean, you know, if you revitalize a lot of these fucking places, it also kind of, you know, gives a sense of like, oh, well, you know, they're, you know, rebuilding around here finally, you know, and all this other shit. Because, I mean, you know, that, like, type of shit, you know, at least, you know, provides results for people. Am I just permanently stuck in entry level jobs for sheer shit, education, and devotion to nonsense? I mean, if they want to be stuck there, then they'll be stuck there. At least, you know, the fact that, you know, a lot of the shit would be revitalized and, you know, and everything else in between, at least their standard of living would be better for it. Why am I, like, blurry all over again? There we go. Also, that's kind of partly why, you know, I say, you know, there should be, like, a, you know, like, you know, whole reconstruction aspect of these things. Because it's honestly going to take, like, you know, like a kind of a long time for it to, you know, really take effect. Or at least, you know, take full fruition of it. I just don't think we would win a lot of hearts and minds. I mean, I guess maybe I'm just like, you know, not as cynical about it, but yeah, there are definitely going to be a lot of people who are just like kind of died to the wool. Yeah, like Confederate racist fucks, but again, that's why I am an advocate for Reconstruction too, because if they don't want to have their hearts and minds won over, then fuck them. Make sure my dog gets back inside. Fucking little sneaker. Fucking goofball just ran out in the front yard. Not mine either. Not my front yard. Oh my lord, you goober. Why? What the hell? Little prick. But kids could be safe with grandkids. Well, I mean, you also know that a lot of these, like, woke conservative, like, chuckle fuck Confederate fucks, you know, tend to be really old, too. I mean, it's like, you know, give it enough time, and eventually I think a lot of them will, like, die out, and, you know, at least a true, like, real, you know, heart, you know, bleeding heart, you know, believers and shit. I mean, there'll still definitely be, you know, a decent amount of them, but I mean, you know, like I said, I think, you know, there wouldn't be as much of them, you know, to really have like as strong of an influence like they had. Now, millennial two Zoomers are savable, I believe. I mean, sure. I don't think it's inherently just a generational thing either, but yeah. I mean, are they 18 at the oldest now? I don't even pay attention to those motherfuckers. I don't like. I know Gen Alpha is like kind of an up and coming thing right now, but I sure shit haven't paid attention to those assholes. Those little curtain climbers. They're still like toddlers in my mind. I'm still looking at like 18, 19-year-olds as like little baby zoomies. Oh my god, dude, the telco continues to explode. And now Rip City's like commenting on me, like separately. Baby millennial. There's the youngest ones. I mean, they're not the. It's like 30 isn't like the youngest for a millennial. Say that'd probably be like 28, 29. Tell Rip to get his ass in here. I mean, he can do whatever the hell he wants. I'm not gonna respond with shit right now. I'm just kind of observing. And I. We should add some friends around already. Have you been like? Weren't you trying to like buddy up with like one of the bud tenders or some shit? I mean, ask what they have off and hang out with them, or when they get off or some shit. I don't know. You're like, hey, when you go off, want to go hang out at a bar or something? I want to see when I have money. Well, I'm just saying, it's like, at least then you'll have at least somebody and like at least a connect. I mean, you have a connection at least. You have to, like, not about hit on someone. I'm not even saying hit on them. Like, asking when their day off is so you can hang out isn't hitting them up, being like, hey, want to go on a date? Just hanging out. That's creepy. No, it's not. How's that creepy? Like, yeah, if you just met someone for the first time, like you walked up, it's like, hey, when you off? Or whatever. Yeah, sure. But if you already have, like, met them and been friendly with them, for a bit and shit, or acquainted, then that's fine. Feels creepy to me. It's not. Like, just going to hang out on someone's day off just to get more acquainted with them and, and have more of a friendly relationship, it's not creepy. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm an error on the side of caution. How is that being cautious? What, like, I mean, like, what? That's like, what's wrong with it? Facebook dating BP dry hair. Why are you even using Facebook? I mean, get off that fucking worthless meme of a website. Like, holy crap. I mean, that's also probably why. I mean, it's like you're not going to really find much on Facebook. If there's like anyone your age or younger, they're not on that fucking app. Why aren't you? Because it only reminds me of my cringe-ass high school years. So, that and also it's fucking lame. And I really would rather limit my social media use anyway at this point. I pretty much only really use, like, YouTube specifically as, like, my main, like, social media hub. And then, like, sometimes, like, Reddit or, Instagram and shit. I had when you were in high school. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm sure, like, my Facebook's the same for back in the day. It's, like, because last time I used it was probably, like, fucking 2016 or some shit. Because honestly, like, it was just like a annoying, toxic fucking shithole, in my opinion. Well, frankly, most apps are, when it comes to social media. But 2018, stalked it once. See, that's creepy. I mean, you're my friend, so it's not with me, I guess, but still. See, asking someone to hang out isn't creepy. That is. So. Yeah. Nah. I think you have a different standard and idea about what creepy is. Goofy little thing. It's not creepy if they don't know. I'm shocked that YouTube allowed that one. Yeah, I'm honestly kind of in awe of myself, to be fucking frank. In multiple ways. Sometimes I just sit here and be like, why you is what you is. Real talk, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I would, yeah, I mean, honestly, I would certainly hope so. But, I mean, hey, sometimes you just gotta roll the dice. Keep people on their toes. No, I don't really have much time to look at anything, but I'll see if there's like something that we can like look at it later. One time I rocked this one girl's world, so she gave me her panties. Nice. My friend Harley would just look at you and be like, "Puh, it's a tax. I always have at least one of their panties." I didn't know what to do, so I just kept them in dirty clothes for months. But got in the way of a later hookup. Well, what? How would it? That's okay. Whatever. I definitely find it amusing. Can I help you, Goof? Different chick saw him, thought I was lying to her about wanting her. You could have just said that was from a girl that I met months ago. She let me keep the panties, so let me keep yours. You could have used that as a way to rizz her up. I mean, hindsight's a bitch, but, still. Can I help you, dog? That's what I said. Still got pissed. So what? Damn. Man, like, what the hell? Maybe she was just not that pleasable then. Like, what the fuck? You know what? Honestly, I suppose maybe you dodged a bullet. Because, like, what the fuck? Dude, I felt like that, wouldn't, like, I mean, what? Man. That's just a little shitty. I mean, honestly, that is kind of a little shitty, though. The one time I hooked up with thin girl. And this white chubby chicks are the best chicks. Have you ever times been chubby to fat girl? Just more love to cuddle. least in my experience. Yeah. At least in my experience with, like, hanging out with bigger chicks and shit, they always also tend to be, like, at least in my opinion, a lot more, like, friendly and more kind of, like, expressive in a sense, if that makes sense. Kind of, like, willing to show off their quirkiness in a way. I mean, not exclusively, though, but, I mean, it seems like more often than not that tends to be the case. And I like it. I like that shit. They're also more loud. I'm assuming I know what you... I think I know what you mean on that one. But you know what? Having a little vocality, going on is, in my opinion, honestly a good thing. I like it. Black girls are the loudest? I don't think that's really a racist thing. I think that's just something from your experience, I guess. But... like in general, not sexually. Oh, just in general? Oh, well, okay, maybe then maybe it is a little bit. Because honestly, at least in my experience, it tends to be the opposite. Like, not that, like, it's like, I never hear, them say anything or whatever, but usually it's just because, like, man, there are definitely, like, some, loud-ass basic white bitches out here, dude. Like, I mean, straight up. So, I mean, it's, at least around here, I guess, a lot more equalized. But I suppose that also just has to do with, just more people in comparison to, like, Alabama and little ass fucking Porter Alice. The fuck do you want? Oh my god, you're so annoying. You are annoying, you little butt. You fucking goof. Hi, this big goofball. This absurd little goof. In which one she's supposed to be making a Sonic run after taking her friend to urgent care. Well, you can be patient. It's been 2 hours. Oh my goodness, cut your mama some slack. And it looks like you're gonna have to, enjoy that on your own time too, by the way, because I'm gonna get myself to work. And all that shit. Booze day. That. Besides, need to get more weed anyway. Fucking hair. Work at Walmart. Fuck that. But anyhow, at least call good for all that fucking shit. So, peace out, and see you on that next one. So.